At first, you thought love could fix it. You believed patience could soften his edges. You told yourself, maybe he's just under stress. Maybe he just needs to feel understood. But over time, you began to notice. No matter how gentle you spoke, he still found a way to twist your words. No matter how much you gave, it was never enough. And somehow, the person you were, the one who laughed easily, who dreamed freely, started to disappear. That's how it begins. Not with shouting. Not with bruises. But with subtle shifts, the slow erosion of your peace. A narcissistic husband doesn't take your soul all at once. He chips away at it. With sarcasm disguised as humor, with silence that feels like punishment, with compliments that always have an edge. One day, you find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, defending yourself against things you never said, and begging for the kind of kindness that should have been natural from the start. It's confusing, isn't it? Because the same man who makes you cry is also the one who can make you feel safe, for a moment. That's the cycle. The push and pull. The crumbs of love that keep you hoping. You start walking on eggshells. Not because you're weak. But because your nervous system is trying to survive chaos that pretends to be love. You tell yourself, if I can just stay calm. If I can explain it the right way. If I can love him enough, maybe he'll change. But deep down, you know, you've tried everything. And nothing changes, except you're more tired now. More anxious. More unsure of who you even are. But tonight, I want you to hear this: you're not crazy. You're not overreacting. And you're not impossible to love. You are someone who's been conditioned to believe that love must hurt. A narcissistic husband doesn't want a partner, he wants a mirror. Someone who reflects back his worth, his importance, his control. The moment you stop reflecting that, he punishes you, through withdrawal, criticism, or emotional distance. He studies you. He learns what makes you feel small and what makes you fight for his approval. And he uses both. When you call him out, he plays the victim. When you show hurt, he calls you dramatic. When you need clarity, he gives confusion. That's not love, that's control. Because if you're always questioning yourself, you'll never question him. So let's make something very clear: you cannot handle a narcissist by trying to make him see your pain. He already sees it, and he uses it to keep you tied to him. The real power comes when you stop trying to change how he treats you. And start changing how you respond. When you stop explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, something in you begins to wake up. A quiet strength that says, I don't have to prove my worth anymore. That's where handling a narcissist truly begins, not with confrontation, but with clarity. Handling a narcissist husband isn't about outsmarting him, it's about outgrowing the illusion. The illusion that you need his validation to feel secure. The illusion that peace depends on his mood. The illusion that love means staying, no matter how much it costs you. You start by pulling your energy inward. By observing, instead of reacting. By choosing silence, not as submission, but as self-protection. He wants your emotional reactions because they feed his sense of control. When you stop feeding it, you starve the game. So when he provokes you, breathe. When he distorts your words, ground yourself in what you know is true. You don't have to convince him. You don't have to fight to be understood by someone who benefits from misunderstanding you. Your calm becomes your boundary. Your indifference becomes your armor. And slowly, he starts losing his grip, not because you fought harder, but because you stopped playing the role he wrote for you. That's how you handle a narcissist, not with louder arguments, but with quiet awareness. You begin to rebuild the version of yourself he tried to erase. The one who had opinions. The one who laughed without fear. The one who trusted her instincts. And every time you choose yourself, even in small ways, you take back a piece of your power. Living with a narcissist can distort your sense of reality. You start to believe their version of events. You question your memory. Your feelings. You wonder if maybe it really is you. That's not by accident, that's gaslighting. It's psychological warfare designed to make you doubt your own clarity. So how do you protect your mind? You start by creating distance, even if it's just internal at first. You stop sharing your deepest thoughts with him, because he will use them as weapons. You start writing things down, not to obsess, but to remind yourself what's real. And you find safe spaces to speak the truth, therapy, community, even just a trusted friend who doesn't judge. Because isolation is how he keeps control. Connection is how you begin to heal. Every time you tell the truth, even quietly, even to yourself, the fog lifts a little more. You remember that your emotions are not the enemy. They're signals. They're messages from the part of you that's still alive, still fighting to be free. Handling him means protecting that part, nurturing it, feeding it truth, kindness, rest. Until one day, it becomes stronger than your fear. The hardest truth to accept is that the man who breaks you will never be the one who saves you. Healing won't come from his apology, it will come from your awakening. One day, you'll wake up and realize you don't need his approval anymore. That silence doesn't scare you. That peace feels better than being right. You'll stop trying to make him see your worth, because you'll finally remember, he saw it from the beginning. That's why he tried to destroy it. But he didn't. You're still here. Still breathing. Still capable of love, real love. The kind that doesn't demand your pain as proof. So how do you handle a narcissist husband? You stop trying to handle him. You handle you. Your boundaries. Your peace. Your healing. You stop reacting, and start observing. You stop begging, and start deciding. You stop surviving, and start remembering who you were before he made you forget. And in that remembering, you come home to yourself. He may never change. But you will. And that's how the story turns, quietly, powerfully, in your favor. Because you don't heal by fighting the darkness. You heal by becoming the light that can no longer be dimmed. So breathe. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're awakening. And this time, you're choosing you. If this spoke to something deep inside you, subscribe, not just to this channel, but to your healing. Every video here is a reminder, you're not alone, and it's never too late to take your power back.